In this video, we're going to go over a series of tips really in regards to sales, some high level information in regards to door to door, best practices, especially in regards to the times of the day to target certain communities, and as well as some high level notes about what communities that your time is going to be best spent focusing on. Okay, so first and foremost, kind of some notes on the community types. We're going to distinct high level between the 55 plus active living retirement communities versus other residential communities. Okay. Also going to kind of anecdotally say non-gated communities are best. Gated communities, residents can be a little more uptight. Obviously, like there's security there. It's just going to be a bigger hassle to be doing this in a not in a gated community. I apologize. So you want to focus on non-gated communities for that reason. You're just going to be wasting less time talking to the security or whatever. Communities that are relatively close together, physically the homes are not, a 2-minute walk between each house. Like you want to walk 30 seconds between each house. So communities that are relatively close together, as well as communities generally that attract homeowners and not renters. Okay. So you can think of this as, generally affluent homeowners is the best target for services, right? So you want to be doing this in a good example is a non-gated 55 plus community. Okay, some of these notes are going to be really relevant to every type of community, and we'll distinct between the 55 plus communities where the time of day or the day of the week is probably not going to be as relevant to the experience of a 55 plus active living retirement community resident. Okay, they tease very commonly that any day that week really works. I'm retired, I'm home. It's easy to schedule because I just have to worry about doctor's appointments every week or whatever, versus a person that works, right? Their time is much more restricted, and therefore they're far less available to be answering the door to talk to you and give you time, their time of the day, versus retirement community resident. They're probably home at most days, on most days of the week or most times of the day. There's a good chance they're home, at least more so than an active, working middle-aged adult, let's say. But when it comes to targeting certain times of the day that are going to work best, think Monday through Friday after work. Okay, so 4 to 7, generally is going to be the best time of the day on a weekday to be going. Because late afternoon through early evening time, most people are home. If they're working, they're coming back at 4 or 5, maybe a little bit after. Someone's going to be home and available to answer the front door and talk. Okay. Early mornings, might even work because you might be able to catch people at, let's say, like around 8 a.m., when they're departing, or maybe not much later. It's going to be a little bit slower. But early morning, some people are going to be home and available to answer the door. Okay. 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on a weekday, probably the worst time of the week to be doing this. Besides, like when it's dark, come on, in extreme cases, like don't go at 2 a.m. But in a reasonable time frame, 11 to 3 is probably the worst time of the day to be doing this on a weekday, because a lot of people are going to be working, and they're not going to be able to answer the door. Okay, and even if they do answer the door, they're going to be a lot shorter with you because, hey man, like it's 1 p.m. I'm in a meeting right now. I can't really talk, or, versus that same person, if you caught that guy at, 6 p.m., he's done with his workday. He might have an excuse about making dinner or whatever, but he's going to be generally more available from 4 to 7 than he will be from 11 to 3 p.m. on a weekday. And clearly, like after dark, no matter what day of the week it is, no one wants you at their front door. Okay, so just don't show up to someone's front door and knock on it, after dark. Clearly, that's not the right time to catch them and talk to them. Saturdays probably the best day of the week to be doing this. Any door-to-door activities. Saturday is generally all day. Most of the day on Saturday should work in theory. Most people are home. They might be out and about doing activities, but they're going to be more available in general on a Saturday than they would be on a Tuesday, let's say. Another good day of the week is going to be Sundays. Okay, and especially think like after church. Okay, maybe some people are going to church on a Sunday morning. I think that's a pretty common activity for lots of homeowners, and maybe they're going to come back. I'm going to say oftentimes around noon in that time window. So I would say noon onward on a Sunday is going to be the best time of the day on a Sunday. Okay, but obviously avoid extreme situations, like don't go during dark. Try to avoid weekdays 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're going to go on a weekday, go from 4 to 7 p.m. Most days Saturday, most times on a Saturday should work, as well as on a Sunday afternoon or so. And then, but also just keep in mind this type of community, right? We're going to be doing a lot of these activities in, let's say, the 55 plus communities, non-gated 55 plus communities at that, right? And especially ones where, there are nice homes, there's affluent residents, but the homes aren't extremely far apart from each other. You're going to want to avoid homes which have a lot of renters. We love to help everyone, but realistically, renters don't hire us for gutter cleaning. Homeowners do, as do they at a significantly higher rate for all the services that we do. Gutter cleaning, window cleaning, solar panel cleaning. Homeowners are going to be more incentivized to hire us than a renter would. So those are some high level tips to keep in mind when it comes to conducting door to door sales, certain times of the day, certain times of the week as well as community types to keep in mind when selecting the most optimal times to be doing these activities.